Hello everyone, my name is Joseph and welcome back to the Popsicle Night channel. This video is sponsored by PTCGO the best place for you to get Pokemon TCG code cards. Are you looking to complete your card collection online for the latest set? PTCGO has everything you need. And please remember to use my code NIGHT22 at checkout so that you can get a 5% discount. Please enjoy the discount and your purchase directly supports the content I create in this channel. Thank you guys so much for your support and for your supporting PTCGO. In today's video, we'll be showcasing Drapion VSTAR from the Lost Origin expansion set. Let's actually start with Drapion V. This is such an awesome card by itself, and it's especially useful against Mew VMAX builds, which by the way is still considered top tier in the current format. Drapion V has the ability Wild Style, which basically reduces its attack cost by 1 colorless energy for each single strike, rapid strike, or fusion strike Pokemon your opponent has in play. And its attack is especially strong. Dynamic Tail, although it costs 4 colorless energy, when matched with a deck full of fusion strike Pokemon, you can basically attack a Mew VMAX for free. And since this attack deals 190 damage, hitting for weakness, this can one-hit knock out any Mew VMAX you encounter. Although this attack also deals 60 damage to one of your Pokemon that you choose. And then its V-Star form is Drapion VSTAR. It has 270 HP, 3 retreat cost, no resistance, and is weak to fighting. Its main attack is Big Bang Arm. For 2 dark and 1 colorless energy, it deals 250 minus damage. The downside to this attack is it does 10 less damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So the less HP it has, the less damage it deals. Its V-Star power ability is Hazard Star. During your turn, you can make your opponent's active Pokemon paralyzed and poisoned. And then the poison damage between turns, or between checkup, is 3 damage instead of 1. This ability can disrupt your opponent, disabling their active, unable to retreat or attack. Unless they have any cards to switch out their active, they will not be able to move. And the 30 damage from poison is significant because, with a full HP, Drapion VSTAR can deal 250 damage with its attack, and add 30 poison to that, you're looking at 280 total damage. That's knocking out any VSTAR Pokemon in the game. And if you have Choice Belt equipped, to increase our attack even further by 30 more damage when going against a V Pokemon, that's a total of 310 damage on your initial attack, enough to knock out some low HP VMAX Pokemon in the game. But even if a VMAX survives that attack, if your opponent cannot pivot their VMAX out of the active spot because of the paralysis, the next 3 poison damage between checkup will guarantee you a knockout against a VMAX Pokemon. So really, Drapion VSTAR is really good. This time, however, we can increase our chances of winning by further disrupting our opponent's setup. And we'll be using Galarian Weezing with the Neutralizing Guess ability, which turns off all abilities that your opponent's Pokemon has in play. This can slow down your opponent tremendously, and it also has the attack Severe Poison. For 1 dark energy, you poison your opponent's active Pokemon, and you put 4 poison damage counters instead of 1 between checkup. And ideally, you will want to start with this Pokemon as soon as possible. That's why I have a copy of Boost Shake in this build. It ends your turn, but you can get an evolution card from your deck and you can instantly evolve one of your Pokemon. This is great early game so that you can shut down your opponent's abilities right away. And to increase our poison damage even further, we've included a copy of RADIANT Hisuian SNEASLER. It has the ability Poison Peak, which increases the damage counter by 2 more between checkup on your opponent's Pokemon that is poisoned. And my second attacker will be Crobat VMAX. It has 2 attacks. The first one is Stealth Poison. For 1 dark and 1 colorless energy, it deals 70 damage, poison your opponent's active Pokemon, after which you can choose one of your bench Pokemon to switch with. Ideally, you will want to switch into Galarian Weezing again to continue to disable your opponent from using their Pokemon abilities. Its second attack is Max Cutter, which deals 180 damage. As for the other cards worth noting, I'm using Crobat V with its Dark Acid ability to help you draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand. And I also have a couple of big barrels so we can use its Industrious Incisors ability. Once per turn, you can draw cards until you have 5 cards in your hand. Pierce can help you find any 1 energy and any 1 darkness type Pokemon from your deck. And for further disruption, I also have 3 copies of Crushing Hammers. You flip a coin and if it's heads, you can discard 1 energy from one of your opponent's Pokemon. And to help energize our Pokemon, I also have Dark Patch, which allows you to attach a basic dark energy from the discard pile to one of your bench dark type Pokemon. For stadiums, I have Galar Stadium, which increases the retreat cost of both players' active Pokemon by 2 more. Next are 2 copies of Lost City Stadium. While it can become a danger to you as well, if you manage to knock out a Pokemon, it goes straight to the Lost Zone. As for energies, I have 1 Capture Energy. If you attach it to one of your Pokemon, you can search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it straight to your bench. And finally, I have a full set of Hiding Energy, which gives 0 retreat cost to dark type Pokemon, which will make it easier to retreat back and forth between Crobat VMAX and Galarian Weezing. This deck is actually pretty good. The only downside I see to this build is the liability that comes with it, since Crobat VMAX can give up 3 prizes, and Drapion VSTAR gives up 2 prizes. But other than that, the poison and disruption aspect to this build makes it really good at disabling your opponent. Anyways, that's pretty much it. You can find the complete deck list in the description below, and now please enjoy the following gameplay videos showcasing Drapion VSTAR. Alright, let's get right into our first match. So my opponent's gonna go first this round, and we're going to have to mulligan because we don't have any basic Pokemon in our hand. Hopefully we get something good here. Nice! We actually got a Coughing, and this is actually an ideal start. And since we are going second on our first turn, we have Hiding Energy that we can attach to our Coughing, and then we can evolve right away into our Galarian Weezing. And that's going to turn off my opponent's abilities on their second turn. So my opponent's going to start with an Oranguru in the active spot, and it looks like we're going up against a Kyurem VMAX build. So this is going to be an interesting matchup for sure. So Kyurem VMAX, of course, has a lot of HP that we have to go through, and it has the potential to knock out any Pokemon in the game. And they're pairing this one with a Origin Palkia V-Star, and really what they're going to be using it for is its ability that allows it to accelerate 3 water energies to their Pokemon any way they like. And it's a good way to energize their Kyurem VMAX to attack another turn. And they also have Empoleon V. So let's just attach our Hiding Energy. And we have 2 Professor's Research, and I think I'll discard the Bibarel for now so I can get a Bidoof. We have 2 in the deck anyways, and we can spare 1 Professor's Research here. And I think I'll start setting up my Drapion V because, you know, this is a Drapion V-Star showcase after all. We're just going to Professor's Research, draw 7 cards. We got another Coughing, which is awesome. And there's really not much else we could do. I could attach the Air Balloon, but I think I'm going to use Ascension for now. And unfortunately, we can't poison our opponent just yet, but at least we are able to evolve into Galarian Weezing. So one thing that my opponent has to do is first get their Oranguru out of the active spot, and it's hard to do, especially it has 2 retreat costs, unless they have Air Balloon or a switch to get it out of the active. But since they are able to evolve into Origin form Palkia V-Star, they can actually just switch it into the active, and then they can just knock out our Galarian Weezing. And that's the only downside to this build, really, is if your opponent is not ability reliant with their deck. And then if they can set up an attacker really fast, they can definitely get through the strategy that we're going for here, and they can just knock out our Galarian Weezing. So now they're able to evolve into their Kyurem VMAX. It requires 3 energies to attack, but what we're gonna do is just boss it, and we're just gonna Severe Poison, start weakening it, because this is the one that has the largest HP that we have to go through. And since it doesn't have enough energies right now, it's not going to be able to attack us. And with Galarian Weezing neutralizing gas ability, it's stopping from using Palkia V-Star's ability. But they were still able to energize it with Melanie, but they have a switch, and they're just going to knock out our Galarian Weezing. So, back to the drawing board, I guess, but we were able to damage their Kyurem by 40. So, I mean, it is something, but still not enough. And with Palkia just keep attacking us, there's really no point in just evolving into another Galarian Weezing. I mean, I could Marnie, evolve into another one. We have an energy. We could poison it and go from there. Could poison their Palkia V-Star. So let's just go ahead and Marnie. See what we get here. Alright, you know what? I think I know what I'm gonna do. Since we got, let's evolve into Drapion V-Star first. We can use our hammer. Nice. Let's go. Let's disable this Palkia V-Star. I think And I'm just gonna use my ability Hazard Star. And that's gonna paralyze and poison their Palkia V-Star. We're just gonna evolve into our Galarian Weezing. So now they don't have any abilities to use this turn. They can't use their Greninja or anything for that matter. So if they don't have any switching items here or any draw options, we should be safe. And this poison is just gonna continue to poison their Palkia, and maybe we can hit it for a finishing blow at some point here. But now with no more paralysis, we are in a little bit of a trouble here. But what we could do is use Professor's Research, draw into 7 more cards. Alright, well, we have Radiant Hisuian SNEASLER, so that's going to increase the poison damage, which is really good. That's going to make a big difference. Start energizing our Drapion V-Star, and you know, I'm not going to get anything because we already have a Crobat V in our hand, and we can draw more cards using it. So I'll just sacrifice the VMAX and the Switch. And alright, I think I'm gonna grab the Crobat V-Star or VMAX. Yeah, I think I'll just do that. And then we can put Crobat V in play, draw 4 extra cards, and we got Galar Mines. So we could potentially just trap their Palkia V-Star in the active spot, just poison it. We are going to lose Galarian Weezing, but at least we can weaken it just enough. We have Dark Patch. So what we could do in our next turn is use Dark Patch. Maybe energize Drapion V-Star. And then what we could do is just pivot into Bidoof with the Air Balloon. And then we can just bump out the Galar Mine with Lost City so we can retreat it. And we can deal a knockout against their Origin Form Palkia V-Star. So they're going to knock out our Galarian Weezing. But it is doing its job though. It is slowing down my opponent very much. And it did help us survive a few turns thanks to the paralysis earlier. But with the reduced HP, what we could do is actually just use Crobat VMAX is what I'm thinking. Because 60, right? 8, 9, 10. Not quite enough, but with the poison, it should be able to finish it off. So I'm going to go ahead and just energize my Crobat V, evolve into Crobat VMAX. And then we're going to use Pierce, get a hiding energy for sure. We can use that to retreat back and forth. And I think I'm going to go for Crobat V. You know what? I'm thinking of just going for Coughing, because if we can retreat, we can also retreat into Coughing and potentially evolve into another Galarian Weezing along the way. So I think I'm going to go for the Coughing, put it into play, put Lost City, bump out the Galar Mine Stadium, retreat into Crobat VMAX, and we're just going to attack with Stealth Poison, 70 damage, and with that extra poison, it's going to knock out their Origin Form Palkia V-Star, putting it in the Lost Zone because of the Lost City Stadium. So the Lost City Stadium, of course, is a double-edged sword. We can potentially disable our opponent if we can remove all of their attackers or their essential Pokemon in play. But if they do knock out our Pokemon, we're going to lose it, and we could be disabled. So, you know, just plan it out carefully, but I do love having that Lost City Stadium in this deck for sure. Because really, it's this build is really a disruption build. So, you know, we're hitting hit and run with Crobat VMAX, and then that extra paralysis thanks to Drapion V-Star adds a lot more to the depth of the strategy of this entire build, basically. So they're going to boss my Crobat VMAX. Are they going to be able to knock it out? No, they're dealing 270 damage, discarding 3 energies from their Kyurem VMAX. All right, so we got a chance here. We can still deal a hit and run. So I think I'm just gonna attack and then poison, retreat back into Bidoof. So they can knock out our Bidoof, that's fine. They only get one prize, but at least we're weakening this Kyurem VMAX and we should be able to knock it out at some point here. But because Kyurem VMAX's attack relies on how many energies they discarded from Kyurem VMAX, they don't have any energies and they can't attack. And if they cannot retreat it, especially it has such a high retreat cost, there it is. It's just sitting, it's a sitting duck in the active spot and they cannot even attack. Got another hammer, might as well disable the other Kyurem, but got tails there. But at least we can retreat freely with this Bidoof, and then we're just gonna fully energize our Drapion VSTAR. Big Bang Arm for 250 damage, knocking out their Kyurem VMAX, and that's gonna get us 3 prizes. So we got our Bibarel finally. We couldn't find it in the deck because one was prize and we discarded the other one, so Bibarel unfortunately was not much help so far in this matchup. But that's alright, we're doing okay. So now they can, all they need is one more energy on their Kyurem VMAX. They could just knock out our Drapion VSTAR with a single hit, discarding 3 energies, and that's gonna get them 2 prizes. But at least, I mean, if they boss our Crobat VMAX, that's gonna be game. And we already used up our VSTAR power, so we can't stall anymore. But they didn't find the energy, dude. They whiffed it. That's insane. Just gonna use Ordinary Rod, recover some of our Pokemon here. I'm gonna get Galarian Weezing. We might be able to disable them at some point, and you know, deal some chip damage if that's what it takes to win this game. But yeah, this is still anybody's game. Just gonna get Crobat VMAX and one Galarian Weezing. So we have a barrel finally. Just thinning up my hand so that I can draw into extra cards with Industrious Incisor's ability here. We get to draw 2 cards. Alright, we got a Quick Ball. Let's see. I mean, I could use Quick Ball to discard the energy and use Dark Patch, but while I have high HP, I might as well just use Big Bang Arm. Deal 250 damage to this Kyurem VMAX while I still can. Yeah, and that's gonna put us closer to winning this game. All we need to do is knock out this Kyurem VMAX. So let's see what my opponent does here. They're gonna use Irida, okay. Kyurem VMAX and an Ultra Ball. I mean, they could get Palkia VSTAR, I guess, then use its ability to charge up their Kyurem VMAX. But all we need is one more prize, and it's within knockout range. Unless they retreat it into a new Pokemon. And really, Drapion VSTAR, that's the thing. If they hit it for enough damage, we're not going to be dealing enough damage to knock out anything. So, I mean, they can still stall a little bit, as long as they have the energy. Dude, they whiffed the energy again. That is insane. Now, you know what? We're just going to finish this guy up. 250 damage with a Big Bang Arm attack, and we're going to take it home. Wow, good game. Alright, let's move on to our next match. We're going to start this one with a Crobat V in the active spot. And you know what? This is the only instance that you really don't mind starting with a Crobat V in the active spot, because you can evolve into Crobat VMAX and attack as well. Dude, we get 2 extra cards from my opponent's mulligan, so that's really awesome. This one time that we have our Boost Shake, but we don't have Coughing, so we're just gonna pass. And this is such a bad set of cards to have in your hand, because I need some of these cards, but if you only have Professor's Research to use to draw into more cards, it's gonna be, this is gonna be awful, because I don't really want to discard all of these cards. But if we have no choice, we might have to, otherwise we're just gonna lose this game if we can't set up any further. So my opponent's gonna start with a Kyogre celebrations in the active spot. So I guess they will be attacking our bench as well. And they also have a bunch of Comfy. Alright, so they're definitely utilizing the Lost Zone mechanic in their build. So let's see what we're going up against. I'm not sure if this is just a pure Lost Zone. Maybe it's a Giratina V-Star. We'll find out. So, typical of a Lost Zone mechanic build. They're just gonna put a lot of Comfeys in play, and they're just gonna draw a lot of cards and just put a lot of different cards in the Lost Zone. And Cramorant's gonna be able to attack for free, 110 damage to our Crobat V. Now, if I evolve into a Crobat VMAX, that's gonna enable them to get 3 prizes. But you know what? With Lost Zone happening here, the hammers are not gonna be as useful. So I think I'm just gonna evolve into Crobat VMAX. That's gonna increase our survivability a little bit. There is that liability, but that's alright. And hopefully, let's see what we got here. We got a Crobat V. I'm gonna go for Coughing, I think. In this matchup, I think Galarian Weezing is gonna be our main attacker, at least. That's gonna disrupt our opponent very, very heavily. So, could go for Bidoof so it can. Yeah, I'm gonna go for Bidoof because we can increase damage, but that's not gonna be until later. We have Pierce anyways, so let's just evolve into Galarian Weezing. And really, Galarian Weezing disables Cramorant because it has that ability where if there is enough or 4 cards in the Lost Zone, it can attack for free. But because Galarian Weezing is disabling that ability, it really cannot attack now. It needs energies for it to attack. So unless they can get our Galarian Weezing out of the active spot, they will not be able to attack with their Cramorant. So yeah, Galarian Weezing is really, really good at disrupting these Lost Zone builds. For the meantime, I'm just gonna start energizing my Crobat VMAX, and we're just gonna Marnie. Hopefully that disrupts my opponent's hand. Play Drapion, and we got all the cards that we needed here. We have the barrel to draw us 3 extra cards this turn, and we're just gonna Severe Poison this Cramorant. So between checkup in the next turn, we will be able to knock it out thanks to the poison. So my opponent's gonna use Escape Rope, and thankfully we have another Galarian Weezing in our bench setup. So now we're still disabling our opponent's abilities. They still will not be able to attack with Cramorant. So far they have 5 cards in their Lost Zone, and that's gonna make it 7 after this one. So they can use Mirage Gate to accelerate energies to their Pokemon if they need to. I'm not sure exactly what other attackers they have in this deck, but we definitely know they have Kyogre. So not sure exactly what the strategy is behind that, but I mean, Energy Recycler, if they have enough energy in the discard pile and towards the end of the game, they can just recycle the energies and then use Kyogre, and I guess they can attack for a lot of damage to our bench. And we don't have any Manaphy in this build either. Alright, there's the Mirage Gate. Okay. Alright, so they have enough energy to their Cramorant, and they can attack our Galarian Weezing, but it's not gonna be enough to knock it out because they're only dealing 110 damage. So we're still ahead of the game here, and I mean 70. If I can retreat this Galarian Weezing, I'm just gonna Severe Poison. That's fine. 60 damage thanks to Radiant Hisuian SNEASLER, and that's gonna knock it out. So now they don't have any energies. Even if they play Cramorant, another Cramorant into play, they will not be able to attack. So again, they are being disabled. And like I said, that's the beauty about this. You can disable your opponent, especially the Lost Zone mechanic. If you can set up your Galarian Weezing early on in the game, and if you have 2 set up at least, you should be able to take advantage of that. And thanks to the Crobat hitting for weakness against their Comfey, you can get free wins or free prizes by knocking out their Comfeys and then just retreating back to your Galarian Weezing and you're home free. So Sableye is also weak against Dark, so you can get extra prizes for that. And we have enough HP to all of our Pokemon that they will not be able to take knockouts with their Sableye. I mean, they can take a few Pokemon along with it when they spread the damage, but you know, Galarian Weezing has 130 HP. So if Sableye focuses its attack on just one, it's not even going to knock it out. Although one already has 110 damage, so they can knock that out. But at least our other Pokemon will not get knocked out. Wow, I can't believe they attack with Comfey. Is that how desperate they are? But yeah, we've pretty much shut down our opponent's build already, and it's slowing them down tremendously. We got Air Balloon, so we can retreat our Bibarel freely into our Crobat VMAX, and we're just gonna Stealth Poison, get a free knockout off of their Comfey, and we're just gonna retreat into Galarian Weezing. So okay, well, so Comfey is not weak against Dark. Okay, so we are still hitting for 70 though, which is really good. We're still able to knock it out with a single hit with the Crobat VMAX. So Comfey is considered to be a fairy type, I guess, in the past. So it is weak against Metal instead of Dark. But as it is, we are on a roll here. We are doing good. They have Escape Rope. Unfortunately, that's gonna get our Galarian Weezing out of the active spot. And they're now focusing on their Sableye to spread damage to our Pokemon, but that's alright. It looks like they only have 9 cards in the Lost Zone, so they can't even attack with Sableye. They'll need 1 more card in the Lost Zone. I mean, if they can Colress's Experiment or even use their Comfey, they can get that 10th card in the Lost Zone. They also need a Psychic Energy to energize Sableye, and then they can start spreading damage. But the only one that they can knock out is our Bibarel. But because Sableye is weak against Dark, we can easily just knock it out with our Crobat Stealth Poison, and then we can retreat back into our Galarian Weezing and again slow them down. But they only have 4 cards left in their deck anyways. I don't know what else they could do here, but we'll see. I mean, we have 4 prizes left to go. Maybe we can deck them out. Well, you know what? With the Energy Recycler, they get all those energies. And I guess that's really the strategy here. If they can put their Kyogre into play, energize it, and they can knock out 2 of our Pokemon with all those energies in their deck. And the likelihood of them getting energies when they attack with a Kyogre, they will be able to... Maybe they can get a double knockout. And that 5 prizes that they need, they could just get it if they knock out our Crobat VMAX and also our Drapion V. So they're going to use Escape Rope. I'm just going to switch back into my Galarian Weezing. And at least Cramorant will not be able to attack. They're going to use Lost Mine, spread damage to our Pokemon. And they also have option to knock out with using their Radiant Greninja. So they're just going to knock out my Bibarel for now, which is pretty scary. Let me retreat back into my Crobat VMAX. We can get a knockout against their Sableye. And we're just going to use Ordinera to get our Galarian Weezing line back to the deck. So we'll have another one in a few here. Let me just discard Drapion V, get Coughing for now. Just checking what cards I have left in the deck. And then I could use Crobat V. We got the Weezing, nice. We can evolve into Drapion VSTAR. And then, I mean, I could bump out their Stadium. And then we can just use Galarian. And so whichever one they put in the active spot, it could get trapped. So we're just going to get a knockout. And we're going to retreat back into our Galarian Weezing. So let's see what my opponent does here. They are putting their Radiant Greninja in the active spot. But they're just going to pass. Okay. Alright. So they need Mirage Gate to deal any serious damage here. And they probably don't have any energy to energize Sableye. So we're just going to take advantage of that. They definitely whiffed that one. And I have Boss's Order. I'm just going to take care of the Sableye. I think this is the most dangerous Pokemon in their deck right now. So we're just going to Stealth Poison, knocking it out, getting another prize. And we're going to continue to retreat back to our Galarian Weezing. Again, disabling the abilities of their Pokemon. But if they have a Mirage Gate, they can just fully energize their Radiant Greninja. But it's not going to knock out any of our Pokemon because it's only dealing 90 damage. And they're going to whiff it again, dude. We're just going to put an energy to our Drapion VSTAR. And I mean, the poison's not going to deal any real damage. I could knock out their Kyogre, but let's just severe poison this Radiant Greninja. That's fine. I think this one poses the most threat because, I mean, either one. I guess Kyogre or Radiant Greninja poses a threat. All they need is a Mirage Gate to fully energize them. But they keep switching into their Cramorant, but it's not gonna be able to attack, dude. So let's just boss the Comfey. We're just gonna do this. Get another knockout with our Crobat VMAX, Stealth Poison, retreat back into Galarian Weezing. And all we need is one more prize. So with all of their Pokemon within knockout range, all we need to do is knock them out with Drapion VSTAR and we're home free. And there it is. And that's how you beat a Lost Zone deck, guys. Just by disabling their abilities. So we're just going to use Drapion's ability and then finish it off with Big Bang Arm for the win. There it is. Good game. Alright, let's move on to our next game. And we're going to start this one with Coughing in the active spot. We got Crobat V. You can reserve that for later. That's going to help us draw extra cards. And my opponent's going to mulligan twice. They have double turbo energy and Cram-O-Matic. Okay. 2 extra cards for us. We'll take it. Another Crobat V. Dude, it's a Mew VMAX build. Alright, so we should be able to win this one easy. I'm just going to put Crobat V and start energizing it because we are hitting for weakness anyways. And of course, we're going to set up our Drapion V in the bench and also our Choice Belt to our Crobat V. So we'll have 2 attackers. Drapion V has an ability that reduces its attack cost by 1 colorless for each strike Pokemon in the game. So with Mew VMAX builds, of course, they have a lot of Fusion Strike Pokemon. That's the only way they can draw into a lot of cards with their Genesect V. And so, really, in this matchup, we should be able to attack for free with our Drapion V. We're attacking for free. We're attacking for a lot of damage because we're hitting for weakness against Mew VMAX. So we can get easy 3 prizes each time we knock out Mew VMAX. So all we need to do is knock out 2 of them, and we should be able to win this game. So when I was testing this deck though, I did lose to Mew VMAX, so it's not always a guarantee. But the only way you can lose this game is if your opponent can set up faster than you and you draw into really bad cards. That's what it is. But other than that, it should be a free win. All you need to do is knock out 2 Mew VMAX and you should be good to go. But also if your opponent uses Meloetta, they can attack and they can still get ahead in price, you know, with the price exchange. I'm gonna try and retreat my coughing here into my Crobat and oh wait, oh man, I shouldn't have done that actually. Now I won't be able to energize my Crobat V. Oh, bummer. Okay, that was a big mistake. Let me just re-energize my Weezing. Use Crobat V. Maybe we can draw into something here. All right, can use Lost City, but we can't attack right now. We already used up our retreat for the turn, so I think I'm just gonna trap their Mew V in the active spot, hopefully, and then I'm just gonna use Professor's Research, and we don't get anything here. I think I'm gonna set up a Hisuian SNEASLER. I think I'm just gonna pass. Put the air balloon on Crobat, I guess. Alright, so I think I made a big mistake, because if we were able to energize Crobat V, we could have gotten a knockout there. 7 times 2, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah. We would have been able to deal 200 damage. But they see the danger here. They are going to knock out our Drapion V. All they need is a double turbo energy or something to energize their Mew VMAX, copy Genesect V's attack, and knock out our Drapion V. But they're only taking 2 prizes. At least we'll have 3 chances to get a knockout here. We have another Drapion V available in the deck, so all we have to do is pivot into Crobat V, retreat into the new Drapion V, attack for free, and then that's gonna get us 3 prizes. Getting ahead of the price exchange. So that's the plan. Anyways, we have Pierce. We can get the other Drapion V from our deck, but if they get another knockout the turn after, all we have to do is recover another Drapion V and then get a knockout on their second Mew VMAX. So that's the entire plan basically to winning this game. It's just a matter of execution, I guess. If we are able to execute that plan. I definitely did a big mistake switching out that Weezing, but I should have just left it in the active spot, disabled their draw with their Genesect. But with the Lost Zone in play, my opponent's also using Lost Zone, which is actually pretty insane. That actually disabled our Drapion V. Now we cannot use it. We only have 1 available in the deck, and if this goes into the Lost Zone, I think we should still be fine though, because we have Crobat V to attack. So I'm just gonna retreat into Drapion V, and we're just gonna attack. We do have to damage one of our Pokemon for 60 though, so I'm just gonna go for Hisuian SNEASLER, and that's gonna get us 3 prizes. And again, the Lost Zone is a double-edged sword, and as you see here, that puts their Mew VMAX in the Lost Zone, so it's not gonna be accessible to them any longer, and that could affect the duration of this game. So if they knock out my Drapion V, that's gonna go in the Lost Zone. We won't have access to it anymore, and we're just gonna have to knock out this Mew VMAX using Crobat V, And if we can evolve into a V-Star, we should be able to knock it out. Hitting for 180 damage times 2. That's 360 damage. But they're going to use Cross Switcher. Alright. Ooh, they're going to attack our Crobat V. But that's alright. As long as we have Drapion V, we can attack for free. And we're still getting a knockout for free. And that's the thing, man. Unless my opponent here has anything that can really go against the sequencing, because I don't see any other outs for my opponent here. I don't know if that actually helped. Yeah, because they only have two options. They can knock out our Drapion V or our Crobat V. So, alright. With the Path to the Peak, that actually removes the ability of Drapion. But thankfully we have Lost City, and then again, Dynamic Tail will just knock out this Mew VMAX for the win. And that's how you easily win against a Mew VMAX build, guys. Wow, unbelievable. Alright, let's get to another game. Yeah, so far this build has actually proven itself to be very good. So I actually took this to the tournaments online, PTCGO tournaments, and it's been getting me a bunch of tradable cards because I've been winning at least second place, you know, not consistently first place, but second place for sure. So we got another Lost Zone deck matchup here. So we don't have Dark Energy, which we actually need to evolve our Coughing. And my opponent can just easily attack in the next turn if they can set up their Comphase. And 4 cards in the Lost Zone, they can attack for free with their Cramorant. Right, with the Hisuian Heavy Ball, we got another Crobat V, but we already used up its ability, so we can't use anymore. We can use our Capture Energy, get a Bidoof, and we're just gonna pass. So because it is my opponent's first turn going second, they're also using Battle VIP Pass, and if they can set up Comphase enough to put a lot of cards in the Lost Zone, they can actually get a knockout using Cramorant, allowing it to attack for free. So let's see if we can win this one, and we're just gonna use our Crobat VMAX once again to get free knockouts against their Comphase. It's not weak against Dark, but we are hitting for 70 damage, so we should be able to knock out their Comphase easily. And we can just retreat into our Galarian Weezing. Alright, so we are going up against Goodra V-Star. Alright, he's doing Goodra. So we're dealing against a defensive type. But that's alright, we're using poison, so we should be fine. Use Crobat V, draw 4 extra cards here. We got a Marnie, which is pretty cool. Put this Choice Belt on our Crobat. We're just gonna Marnie. Alright, we got Crobat VMAX. Alright. Can evolve that. And we can actually evolve our Weezing, so we can disable them and poison them at the same time. Just use Big Barrel to draw 2 extra cards. I can discard that. Get Drapion V. And yeah, we're just gonna Severe Poison their Comphase. Now, again, they will not be able to use their abilities, so Cramorant's not gonna be able to attack. Comphase not gonna help them draw extra cards. And their Radiant Greninja's not gonna be able to draw extra cards either. So they need to build up their Lost Zone. They have 4 in the Lost Zone so far. They need 7 to use Mirage Gate. And they cannot attack with Cramorant because its ability is disabled. So It's Industrious Incisors. Alright, we got Hiding Energy. Start energizing our Drapion V. And we're just gonna Severe Poison, knocking out their Comfey. That's gonna get us our first prize. Nice. And it goes to the Lost Zone thanks to our Lost City. Like I said, Lost City is pretty cool. Even if my opponent gets to set up like Sableye or whatever, you can just put it to the Lost Zone and it's gonna disable them. So we're just gonna continue to Severe Poison. It's it's completely disabling my opponent. If they cannot set up, we're just gonna continue to knock out their Comfeys and we're gonna go from there. Well, they're gonna scoop it up. It's gonna get them another turn, but we're just gonna continue to put our pressure. If they cannot put energies to their Hisuian Goodra V-Star, it's gonna Stealth Poison this guy, retreat back to our Galarian Weezing, and that puts that Comfey to the Lost Zone. So now we're removing their means of putting cards in the Lost Zone, although we are putting Comfey in the Lost Zone. But still, it is doing what it's supposed to, right? Get another knockout. We're just getting our prizes for free here, guys. So they should be able to use Mirage Gate now. Yep. So since we put 3 Comfeys in the Lost Zone, that's gonna... they have 2 Mirage Gate. So now they can fully energize their Goodra V-Star. It's hitting for 200 damage. Okay. Knocking out our Weezing, putting it in the Lost Zone because we have Lost City in play, which is horrible. Just gonna put this air balloon on our Barrel, and then can just discard. Let's see, we need Ordinary. I'll just discard the air balloon. Get another Coughing. And I mean, I could use Marnie. I could use Ordinary Rod first before I use Marnie, maybe. So we can't evolve. Let me just use Switch for now. And because it could go either way. I could attack with Crobat. We got Crushing Hammer. We can evolve into Drapion V-Star at least, which is really good. Crushing Hammer. Dude, didn't work. We got the energies that we need. We could deal a heavy blow against this Hisuian Goodra though. And it's reducing our attack by 80. I could just paralyze this guy. And then I could attack with either Crobat. Yeah, I think I'll retreat into Crobat. Can Industrious Incisors draw for 3? Got another Crobat VMAX. Dude, that is pretty cool. So we're just going to use Max Cutter here. Deal as much damage as we can. 130 damage because of that damage reduction. The effect of Hisuian Goodra's attack. Alright, they have a switch. And that's going to remove the paralysis. But we can knock it out with our Drapion V-Star in the next turn. It has an ability that fully heals itself though, but not sure if that's a good idea because they don't have any other attackers set up. And sure enough, there it is. They use the V-Star power, fully healing their Goodra V-Star, and they're just gonna attack for 200 damage against our Crobat VMAX. I could start energizing Crobat, but I might need that for my Drapion V-Star though. So I'll just attach that for now. Use Industrious Incisors. Draw 2 cards. And I could use Professor's Research. I mean, we could try and set up as much as we can, but I think I'm just going to go for Stealth Poison here. We're dealing 20 damage, but still, it's pretty good. I mean, with the poison, we have Radiant Hisuian SNEASLER in play, so that's going to increase the poison damage. It doesn't matter how much defense they have. That poison damage is just going to deal the same amount of damage that it would be. So there's another Goodra. They're trying to set up Melanie to accelerate 1 energy. So we've already used up Hazard Star. We can't paralyze them anymore. But my opponent has also used up their ability, so they cannot fully recover any of their Hisuian Goodra anymore. So whatever damage we deal is going to be retained, and we can just try and finish it off with our Drapion VSTAR. So my opponent is going to attack my second Crobat VMAX. We just have to retreat it. I mean, just attach this energy. Then we can retreat to our Drapion VSTAR. We can get a knockout here with enough damage. Plus poison. Big Bang Arm. 200 damage. There it is, guys. 200 damage. Get our 2 prizes. And we have 1 more prize to go. Not too bad. So they were able to set up their Mirage Gate to power up their Hisuian Goodra, which is pretty cool. But the whole defensive stance of Hisuian Goodra wasn't enough, thanks to the poison damage that is dealt by our Pokemon in this deck. So we got Galarian Weezing shutting down their abilities, as well as Crobat VMAX. So at this point, my opponent has 5 prizes left. I mean, they can knock out our Crobat, but that's only gonna get the 3 prizes. All we need is 1 more prize. Is there an out for my opponent here? But yeah, Galarian Weezing definitely played a huge part against this matchup. Disabling their comp phase, they weren't able to draw enough cards to set up. And Radiant Hisuian SNEASLER does its job by just increasing our poison damage. And of course, our Crobat VMAX to deal hit and run tactic, and the extra paralysis from our Drapion VMAX or VSTAR really makes this an easy matchup. So there's the win, there's the scoop. Wow, good game. Before ending this video, I want to thank you all so much for showing so much love for this channel. As always, before you go, make sure you are subscribed if you are not already. Make sure and leave a like. It's a simple way to help increase the algorithm to get this video to more viewers like you. And if you'd like to help support my channel even more, please check out the description of this video. You can donate to me directly through PayPal, and you can also become a member of this channel. For as low as 99 cents a month, you may be able to buy me a coffee if you'd like. And you'll also be able to get an early access to videos I've already uploaded before they are scheduled for release. Or you can also use the new Super Thanks from YouTube if you'd like to donate even further. You can also check out Redbubble, where you can buy apparel and accessories with awesome designs from me. And of course, for supporting my sponsors and partners, PTCGO and yourplaymat.com. Links are in the description below. But you don't have to do any of those if you don't want to. I'm just really happy that you continue to take the time out of your day to watch my videos. Thank you everyone for watching, happy Pokemon gaming, and stay tuned for more videos. And that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to smash the like button for me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching the Popsicle Night channel, and as always, stay safe and have a great day.